I think most of us here attended the session before this. And my opening line was like, how many of you have faced a challenge that felt impossible? And of course you have. I mean, we're here and we're queer and it is challenging, right? But I'm here to tell you a little bit of a story and to help you move beyond your limitations and step into the possibilities, just like we were talking about earlier in the first session. Like, let's really step into and imagine what is possible for us. So I was a year of being cancer-free, and I was completing my bucket list and decided to go snowboarding and sustained a serious brain injury. This left me with post-concussion syndrome, and my brain was barely able to function. I could barely process simple tasks. My brain would literally shut down if I tried to go shopping, drive a car, felt like I was drunk, right? I couldn't get my arms and limbs to move. You'll notice I may lose a word or say the wrong word today. That is my new brain. And I'm still showing up. So I have to have my notes too, so I don't get lost or go off on a tangent. This really honestly left me feeling worthless, terrified, and defeated. Like I had already been through so much, and all I could think of was, how am I going to get to the other side of this? I could barely take care of myself, and I didn't know if I would ever be able to do that again. So I know some of you have faced similar situations where challenges just feel like they're too big to handle. And whether that's relationship struggles, job uncertainty, which I think we're all kind of facing right now. There's a lot of job uncertainty, or even just the chaos of the world right now. It can leave us feeling kind of lost, defeated, a little bit stressed. And I lost my notes. Yeah, so even in my darkest hours, I still held on to some hope. My teacher, Justin Michael Williams, he has this line, and I love it. If we can't dream beyond our current circumstances and our current challenges, how can we ever expect to live beyond them? Right? We just can't. And even if we look at queer and trans rights, even though we have a long way to go, somebody had to imagine that was possible for us to get where we are today. So I have spent, I had lots of time, and I spent countless hours over the last 2 years really imagining where I wanted to be in my life, right? How was I going to get to the other side when I could barely I could barely make a sandwich? So I spent time just imagining driving, walking, kayaking, just living a life that I wanted to live. Wow, my phone is just crazy here. It keeps freezing on me. All right. All right. Okay, so I spent a lot of time imagining where I wanted to be, even if I didn't know the how of how I was going to get there. And we know that visualization is really powerful, but dreams don't just happen. We have to take the actions to get us there. Just like with queer and trans rights, we couldn't just imagine it. We had to take the steps to move us forward. We have to take aligned steps. So I literally took steps every single day. I learned to balance. I learned to walk again, to be able to drive, and I had to literally do that one step at a time. I had to rebuild my brain's capacity to show up. So over the next 2 years, it sounds kind of crazy. Remember, I could barely make a sandwich. I studied to be a transformational coach. I learned to drive again. I learned to navigate my life. You'll see I wear my hat. I have sunglasses. I have my earplugs in. I learned how to show up in the world in a new way. I navigated a divorce. I moved to a new city. And I started a business to help other people overcome their limitations and step into their possibilities. That's one of the reasons why I'm here today. So, thank you. Yay, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I also came out as queer and gay, like just in the last couple of years. So I'm 51. Yeah. So I've never dated a woman in the last 4 years. And if I can do it, I know that each of you can do it too. And so what we're going to do today, which is why I don't have a lot of slides, is because we're going to do practice. You're going to create your own vision. And you're going to learn how to take steps, aligned steps, to move you towards that vision instead of keeping you stuck in your limitations. So I invite you to get kind of as comfortable as you can in the chairs that are here. And I'm just going to let you know, we're going to do some, what I like to say, imagining instead of visioning. So we all imagine differently, and I really want you to step into that to really focus on what is coming up and what isn't. So some of us see things, some of us hear, taste, smell. We all imagine differently. So don't get stuck if you don't see something. That's okay. Just notice what is happening for you. All right, let's just take a breath in together and a breath out. And if it feels okay for you, just close your eyes or soften your gaze. You can look down at the floor. It's just so you're not distracted. You can place one hand over the other in the center of your chest. This actually releases oxytocin, and I like to think of it as a little love hug to myself. And we're going to do 3 breaths together, and I'll walk you through it. So we're going to inhale for 3, pause, and then exhale for 3. And it's okay. I'll walk you through it. So let's take one breath to align ourselves. Breathing in and out. And inhale for 1, 2, 3, pause, and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, pause, and exhale. 1, 2, 3. And last time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Just let your breath return to normal. You can keep your eyes closed, just settling in, because we're going to do some imagining. You need to imagine a future version of yourself who is living the life of your dreams. All of your challenges have been overcome. Really allow yourself to go there. Because if we can't imagine beyond our current circumstances, how can we expect to live beyond them? Everything around you and within you is perfectly aligned. You have health and wealth. Your relationships are fulfilling. Your creativity and passions are alive and fully engaged. Your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being are in balance. Just trust what comes up. And what do you notice? Are you indoors or outdoors? Is there anyone there with you? What is happening in this vision that lets you know that you are living the life of your dreams? Just notice what you hear, maybe taste, smell. If you're able to, how does it feel? Just jumping into how it feels to be living this life of your dreams. You're going to ask this future version of yourself a question. What is one thing I did today to bring me closer to this vision? What is one thing I did today to bring me closer to this vision? Trusting the first thing that arises. This is your inner wisdom. All right, take a breath in, breath out. Open your eyes when you feel ready. Welcome yourself back to the space. take a few minutes if you want, Rick. I'm going to keep going because I know we're 5 minutes. I have my notice. I'm going to keep going, but write it down. I want you to write down that one thing, write down anything from your vision, and complete that one thing today before you go to bed. All right, so this is a very powerful practice. You have accessed your inner wisdom, gained a little bit of clarity on where you want to be, where you're headed, and you've learned how to take an aligned action towards that vision. You're using your inner wisdom and towards it instead of staying stuck. You're actually standing in a place of possibilities. And here's the thing, when we stand in our limitations, so we stand in our current circumstances and we say, what should I do? That's a totally different ask than we're standing in a place that it's already done and saying, what did I do? What did I do to get me there? It's a totally different answer that you will get. You can play with that practice, but you want to ask yourself, the first keeps you stuck in your current circumstances, and the second one moves you forward beyond your limitations. So a couple of tips when doing this practice. I invite you to do it every single morning. It takes a couple of minutes. Literally drop into your vision. Imagine yourself beyond your current circumstances. All your challenges have been overcome. And then ask yourself, what did I do? This is not your to-do list. This is an action that moves you towards your vision. It can be big or small, can be sending an email, can be working for 4 hours on your project. It doesn't matter. You're going to do it in the morning though, and you want to drop in fresh because you don't know a week from now, you don't want to make a list, and you don't know a week from now how you're going to feel that day. So you need to drop in fresh, check in, what your body automatically knows what you're capable of that day. And then complete it by the end of the day. So, because I think we lie to ourselves that we don't have time to complete one task for ourselves that moves us towards our vision, right? By the end of the day. Make time. All right, why this works. 40 small aligned steps will move you forward faster than 1,000 unaligned steps that have kept you stuck in your current circumstances. Right? This alignment creates momentum. And this is one of the tools, this is the main tool that I used that moved me through every challenge in the last 4 years. Literally in the last 4 years. Like I said, I had cancer, I got divorced, I had a brain injury, I started a business, I started my whole life over, I came out as queer and trans, and I was literally married to a man, changed my whole life in 4 years using this. It will move you forward. I never could have imagined standing here today. This is beyond my dream bigger at that time. And yeah, I never could have imagined being here today to share this with you. So you have already taken the steps forward. You're here, you anchored into your vision. You have created one action, you've come up with one action to move you forward. You have a tool to take with you, to take an action every single day to move you towards your vision. If I did leave some cards on the table, if you have any questions, if you want to share with me what came up with you, if you have any questions about how, because I know we're not going to have a lot of time for questions today, please reach out. And yeah, thank you so much. And maybe we'll step into possibilities.